Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sergio Augustin, or Sergio Agustin, however you want to say it. And I'm back with another video. This topic I've been wanting to talk about for a minute now. And now that I have the YouTube channel, like I'm just gonna say it. So I made an outline just to make sure that I got everything I wanted to say. Before the video starts, I just want to let you know that if you are in the market for some lashes, please check out my brand. It's linked down below. Just gotta, plug that in real quick. But yes, this video, it will be about 5 things that I wish, I'm gonna say straight people, but it could be, anyone, that I just wish people understood or knew about being gay. So let's go ahead and start with number 1. Spoiler alert, it is not. When people say this, I like to spin it around, like back to them, like think about it like this. When did you wake up and decide that you were straight? Oh, you didn't, right? Oh, you were always straight? You never thought about being, otherwise? That's exactly how it feels. You just are what you are, and there's nothing you can do to change it. I hate when people call being gay a lifestyle choice or a lifestyle. Like, no, Brenda, being gay was not a lifestyle choice. But you staying with that little husband of yours that cheated on you 3 times and everyone else knows, that's a lifestyle choice. Girl sexuality is not a choice. In fact, it's more like on a spectrum, but that's like another topic that's like, going more into it. But yeah, it's not a choice, it's who you are. It's a part of our identity, and as much as you try to change it, you just can't, because it's not something that can be changed or something that was ever meant to be changed. I remember when I came out to my parents back in high school, I guess my mom had told my aunt, and then she of course then told her husband, so then my uncle found out, and you know what this little shit said? You wanna hear the bullshit that came out of his? He had said that like I wasn't actually gay, that I was just saying that I was to get attention. I don't need to do anything to get attention. That happens on its own. And second, it pissed me off because, like, do you actually think that if sexuality was a choice, something you could choose, that I would choose to be the one that like gets alienated, that gets, hated on, that gets bullied? You really thought I like was confronted with a choice and I was like, should I just like do this, what's normal, or then do this that's like completely against the grain and all this stuff? Like, you really thought a bitch made that choice? You really think I would choose that? Like, girl, make it make sense. And I remember I felt so upset because it had taken everything in me to come out to my parents. And, years before, especially due to my Catholic guilt, I had tried to do everything to make myself not gay. And when that quickly didn't work out for obvious reasons, I tried to play it safe, to, repress my feelings, to hide who I was, to filter my words, how I said them, and to behave and act a certain way as to not make my gayness so obvious, to stay away from boys in general because they all eventually talked about girls, and like that made me like uncomfortable. I don't know what to do, and I was like, let's just not go there. To hold back on even exploring certain sides of me because the shame was just too hard to bear. Do you know what it's like to have so much hatred towards a part of you that you can't control or understand? It's so soul crushing. For maybe I was like 10, 11, 12, 13 years old when, I came to the realization of this, and I like went through this, like this was all going on through my mind. It was like as if I had known too much too soon. And obviously I didn't have the courage that I, do now, to own up to who I was, to accept all that I am, and to find love in all parts of me. You have to be resilient and strong to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And unfortunately, not everyone can or even has the luxury to do that. This leads me to my next point, where they think that being gay is contagious. Like it's COVID, bitch. Like, if you see gay people in shows, films, media, in public, at the park, at the mall, in church, at the gym, at a freaking Walmart, guess what? They can't make you gay. gay people simply existing and living their lives will not take anything away from you. Trust me, I know that it's like a crazy thought. Think about it like this. Take me, for example, who has straight parents, uncles, aunts, and I've seen straight representation in all the media that I grew up with. You know, think about Nickelodeon, Disney shows, all that stuff, you know, in movies, even in books. And, you know, Snow White having to be kissed by a man to wake up. Like, all these things everywhere. According to your logic, that should make me straight. It didn't. It didn't. It had no effect on me. You think that all brainwashed me into being straight? You think that it turned me into something I'm not? That's what these people are saying when they're like, I don't want gay stuff in this. Girl, it's the same thing. You sound dumb. It just doesn't work like that. We are normal people just like you. And it's important that we get treated with the same respect as any human being. Having people that look, feel, and think like you being represented in media makes you feel seen, appreciated, validated, and most importantly, not alone. Having this visibility, this representation in the media we consume could help save young LGBTQ plus lives. You want to know why a lot of LGBTQ plus youth seriously consider suicide? It's not because they're gay. It's because of how society has made them think about themselves for being gay, for being different. Those are two different things, you know? And you want to hear the hard, cold truth? It's because of uncompassionate people who have blindly followed a questionably interpreted idea that's been passed down for centuries. These people, for some reason, have made it their life mission to dehumanize strangers that are different than them just because they don't understand sexuality. Like, imagine being so ignorant and filled with blind hatred for something that scares you for some odd reason, and letting that drive you to be this ugly kind of person with no humanity, no compassion, no love. This reminds me of something. Oh yeah, maybe like those assholes who tortured and crucified Jesus, you know, the guy that you guys all claim to like worship. Does that ring a bell? You know, do we see similarities? No. The third point, my third thing is that they intentionally say they accept you or understand when they don't, or they avoid the topic of your sexuality and pretend that it doesn't exist. Like, first, talking about your sexuality in casual conversation is just weird in general, so like I get it. Like, I still struggle sometimes bringing up the fact that I'm gay to people when I'm not sure how they feel about it. So I'm just like, you know, and putting that out there just seems to be a hassle, and people may think that you're like so full of yourself, or, you know, you're just trying to make a situation all about yourself, and, you know, it's just it's kind of iffy. So like, you have to find creative ways to bring it up to people, you know, without making it like this huge formal announcement, because it takes the pressure off yourself, and it, you know, gives people the space to respond and process that more naturally, or like more low-key, instead of having like this big theatrical, you know, reveal, because it sometimes does feel like that, even though we don't intend it to, you know. Yeah, like, I still struggle with that. But with that being said, it just rubs me the wrong way when people say that they accept us or pretend to make us feel validated, when they still show homophobic behavior towards you or other gay people, either to their face, behind their back, or even straight to your face. People still do this to me, and it's infuriating because, you know, all you can do is try to distance yourself, or, you know, to cut people off, I guess, or, you know, sometimes I would even waste my time trying to get these people to understand, you know. Like, what do you do when these people are your family, your aunts, your uncles, your, you know, friends, family friends, or cousins, or coworkers, acquaintances, people that you still have to see at family gatherings or at work or what have you? Like, what do you do when you have these people in your life and you kind of can't get away from them, otherwise you're gonna be alone, bitch? And honest, that's kind of like what I'm going through, is like, how do you handle that? These people that pretend to get it but don't actually try to get it, because otherwise they would, you know, try to make an effort to be more compassionate, to change the way they think, to change their behavior and, you know, have more respect to you and to other human beings. Honestly, there's nothing worse than thinking that your family or your friends are coming around and they're truly seeing you and loving you for who you are, and then only for you to find out that it's all a lie. Actions speak louder than words. I used to not see it because it feels good to be included. It feels good to be heard. But when you become aware of, like, you know, the fact that people either are just pretending to care or you don't care enough to care, because, you know, it's easier to just do that than to actually make an effort to become a better human being. That's heartbreaking, but newsflash, people are lazy and they will do what is easiest, or they'll do what everyone else is doing. So there's people that I've met throughout my life that, you know, you friend on Facebook and you're still friends with them, and they post some homophobic shit or share some questionable, you know, homophobic stuff. When I see that, you know, some people I have unfriended or whatever, but some people I'm like, it's not even worth it. I don't care. When I see that, you know, I just think it is what it is. That's who they are. They're showing me who they are. At least I know where they stand. At least I can categorize these people, you know, for, you know, what they are, who they are, and just act accordingly. Like, at least they're being honest, you know? Isn't it better to know definitely who is against you or who is, like, your enemy than to have, like, two-faced people around you and, like, you don't even know or you don't even realize, or you realize too late, you know? And this leads to my next point, which kind of deals more with, like, I guess straight guys in particular, but they think that they can't relate to you just because you're gay. That your life problems, your life experience, what you think, what you feel are so abnormal and so out of this world that they can't or don't even want to begin to try to comprehend or relate to you just because you're gay. Do you want to know why men are so fucking lonely? And, you know, some idiots even think that feminism or that, like, women are ruining men or taking over the world or whatever little dick energy, you know, they spew out into the world. It's, you know, what a classic move, you know, to blame women, right? But no, it is this toxic ass society that we have built. It's no secret that men especially, of all sexualities, have internalized homophobia, and this is why it stops them from connecting to other men, from having meaningful, deeper relationships to other men, regardless of their sexualities. Some people, a lot of men obviously move past this and they don't have an issue with this, but I'm just saying this is a generalization that I have, like, seen. This is, you know, this is the problem. And because of this, it's one of the main reasons why I've personally always struggled, you know, to make friendships with other guys growing up. I think that men who aren't comfortable in their sexuality, regardless of what it is, or, you know, just not comfortable within themselves in general, they tend to keep things surface level. It's why they struggle to make, you know, the deep, meaningful connections with others. I want to tell you about this personal experience with, I'm just gonna say family member because I don't want to be too specific, of mine that this kind of goes back to my previous point, but, like, I'm not gonna go to the priest at church and go up to him and talk to him and about all my boy problems. I'm just not gonna do that. And if, for example, at the time, like, if you don't have true good friends or that strong support system in your corner and all you have is, like, family, for example, for me, the family member that I grew up with my, you know, whole life, you know, if you're like me, you're probably gonna go talk to them instead of the priest, you know? No brainer, right? This was one of the most eye-opening experiences because I was so naive and blind, and I did not take into account how they actually felt about gay people. I had talked to them about something personal, something very personal, because I had no one else to turn to. And it took me a while after, you know, that to see their actions. And that's when I learned that because of their internalized homophobia, they did not care. They didn't even allow themselves to relate or to connect to what I was saying. And, like, my theory is that they probably thought, if I relate to him, this homosexual, if I relate to his problems, then would that also make me gay? I don't know. Like, they didn't even try to help. They just pretended to listen, and then they just moved it along, you know? I know I'm being vague here, and it's might not make sense, the situation, but long story short, I just knew. Since then, I just knew, you know what, you can't ever come to this person, you cannot confide in them. Like, they have shown me their true colors. And it's funny that how I didn't see it before, because I just assumed that, you know, because they were family, that they would be there for me. And spoiler alert, nope, wrong. Going to this person, you know, to confide in them, to talk to them, and then going to the priest, I thought there were two different things. No, bitch, it's the same thing. It was the same thing. Like if men could get their heads out of their ass, and like, not just men, but you know, homophobic people, right? We as a society, we could get past this gay is wrong, gay is a sin, gay is a choice bullshit, you know, like, do you understand how far we would be, and hopefully, you know, more unified in solving the many different real world problems that we have, such as like homelessness, cancers, like AIDS, hunger, all that stuff. Like, imagine. Okay, my final fifth thing would be, this one's kind of petty, a personal issue, if you will, and if you're like gay, you might relate to this. But why do straight men think that you will pimp out your friends for them, or that you will like hook them up with, you know, your girlfriend, your girlfriends or something? Like, do I look like I have the Tinder logo on my forehead? Or, you know, like, are you that desperate and lazy that you have to ask another man to help you find a woman? Did you think about that? I'm not one to pimp someone out. That's not me. Ew, I don't. And you need to have friends to pimp out, first of all. But like, no, that's not something, no. And then second, personally, like, it's so appalling to know that the only thing people see you for is something you can give them, and it feels so shitty when you realize that. You only wanted to get to know me, or you're only talking to me because you think that I can hook you up with like one of my friends, someone I know, or like my sister. Like, bitch, I could give you a whole list of names of people like this that have done this to me. Yeah, it's like, it's gross, honestly. It's really gross, and it gets you second guessing, you know, when people try to get close to you. You're just like, what do you want? And at the end of the day, like, just don't be weird, guys. Like, come on. Like, so those were 5 things that I wish people, or straight people in particular, you know, understood about being gay. I hope you guys liked the video. And let me know if you want me to make another one. I do have more things. I had like more things in my outline, but like, I needed to shorten it because I don't want to make a long video. But yeah, so let me know if you guys want more. But yeah, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot, especially if you give a like to the video so more people can see it. I'll make sure to link down Chula Beauty down below so you can shop our lashes, our apparel, and also, you know, our Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff if you want to follow us there. I do want to open this up for like discussion, so like, please comment down below like your thoughts on my points, and if you guys want to add anything else. So yeah, I look forward to reading those. Please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.